Thousands of people in Indiana struggle with homelessness every day. And if you are thinking that is a problem exclusive to places like Indianapolis or Fort Wayne, you would be wrong. I'm here today with Mahogany Barnhardt to discuss the new homeless shelter right here in Vincennes. Thanks for joining me today, Mahogany.
Good morning, I'm glad to be here.
So tell me, where did this idea come from?
My mother, the founder, she kind of had this project in mind where she wanted to start a group home for women. And I was already feeding people across the street at Greg Park while working at the Golden Touch restaurant. We kind of combined those two things and started our own shelter.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah.
I think that that's a really big step. And I was just asking you, you're not from the Vincennes area, but you seem to be giving back a lot. How did you end up here?
I'm originally from Chicago. I came here for school. After I finished my schooling, I wound up adopting a kid while working at the youth village. His family is from the Vincennes, Indiana area, so I kind of stay here so that he can have that connection with his family.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So he is going to be 21 in June. So
yeah, like you said, you got an education degree from here at Vincennes University.
Yeah, here at the university.
And so you kind of have some of that background in, learning about kids and learning about how, the struggles that some kids go through in the public school system and things like that. So that kind of gives you, I think any of our educators around here kind of know some of the struggles that maybe the general public wouldn't be aware of, that some of our families and kids are going through. But creating this shelter kind of gives you this place to give help.
Yeah.
And like you said, you had a restaurant before this. Tell me how Golden Touch became the restaurant to the shelter.
Well, when we first did it, I had to go up against the board because we have the house on Perry Avenue. It's a smaller house. I didn't know the need was going to be as big. We do have one other shelter in town, so I didn't think it would be as big, but it was. We ran out of space there really quick, probably like the first or second week open.
Wow.
So I started to have my guys remodel the restaurant so that we can have a bigger space.
Yeah.
And I completely stepped away from the restaurant because I was spending too much time with this project. So
Yeah.
it was the best balance, I felt like. Also, I learned from opening a food truck first, then going to a restaurant, that you kind of make more money on the food truck side of the deal because you can move around versus sitting in one spot for the restaurant. So,
Right.
And I started the food truck before the restaurant, so I was used to a different amount of money than what I was bringing in, and then I had all these other utilities. So I was like, you know what, let's just do this.
Yeah. And I think that you're a different type of shelter than the existing shelter here in Vincennes. Is that correct? Can you explain that to me?
I've spent a lot of time donating to that shelter, so I don't really know much. I do know that they do emergency placement. We do have transitional on ours. We want to transition people back into the community as best as we can.
Right.
So we are looking into getting them into some of our rentals and not charging them the full deposit or the full rent so that they can slowly transition back into the community. So we are doing that with our individuals, just until they can get a place.
Right. And you have had, you've had some full numbers, right?
Yeah.
You said your first shelter is full.
Yeah, completely full.
From times, yeah. So, and that's probably people of all ages.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Our youngest resident, 7 months old. Our oldest resident is 62, so you never know.
You just never know who's going to need help, even for a short amount of time, right?
Yeah.
But places like this in our community are really what gives people hope, I think. Right? I mean, do you see people come in and then you give them just a little bit of help?
Yeah, you can see
enough.
Big difference, a big difference. I require them to complete 10 hours of community service, and it's not like anybody granting us so that we can stay open to do this or anything like that. It's no obligation. It's just that I've came up with the idea of everybody doing 10 hours of community service. But when these people get out into the community, even we recently picked weeds at the Minotoni Park, the new park, and those people got out there and it's like it made their day. They came home happier, they felt needed, and that's what we want for people in our community. Yeah. It's gonna help them do better and perform better as humans. So.
Oh yeah, the work is needed. I mean, there is work that needs done, and there's people who are willing to do it.
Yeah.
But it's people like you that kind of put them together, right? Yeah. And it gives them, and then you're getting all these things accomplished.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
recently, my dad donated a van to our shelter. So we do have that, and I've been able to transport people to places that they need to go. And then we do things as like a group, even if it's just church on Sunday, we'll do something as a group. And we have that transportation now to help us a little bit.
That's a great element to have.
Yeah.
And I think that it's just getting all of the resources kind of built up, right? And you've been at this a very short amount of time to have all these resources. When did you start?
I say I've been feeding the homeless for the last probably about 2 years. I would donate to the shelter here in town once a month. So I already kind of had my foot in the door with that. But as far as like starting my own shelter, it literally was this year.
Yeah.
A little bit into, I'd probably say like last November, I kind of had the idea, but I wasn't really like foot on the floor trying to like open it up until like January.
Well, it's a big step.
Yeah.
It's a big step for someone to take, right?
Yeah,
and it's just you and your mom, right? And then a board.
Yeah, we have a board. My parents have been super supportive. My mom and my dad still work full time. Right now we don't have a whole lot of granting, but we're praying for the best so that we can stay open. But right now they're being pretty supportive in like paying the utilities and everything like that to keep us open.
Wow. Yeah. So if community members do want to help, how can they donate? How can they reach out to you?
My number is pretty public on the website, but it's 812-890-8029, and they're welcome to come to the Washington Avenue location. I'm usually there every single day.
Okay. Do you have a list of things that you're needing donated, or?
Yeah, we do have a donation list. The need is crazy. Right now we need toilet paper. No, I'm just kidding. But we need small things, just the average things that you would need to just survive, Heart to Heart have been super helpful with helping out with our baby, so we have that part covered for the most part. Yeah. We had a lot of different people in the community have been like helpful with like donating food and stuff like that. So we haven't ran out of food or anything, so that's been a blessing. Yeah,
right. What would you want people to know about the people in your shelter?
They're just regular people. They're just regular people that need a push. I know that whenever I was going up to the board, against the board, it was so frustrating because we had other people, especially at the Perry Avenue location, from the community that didn't want to see it happen. And I was so adamant on explaining to them that, this is what we need. This is what's going to help those people that are walking around during the day because they don't have anywhere to go. And it's not easy to run a place that's 24 hours. I'm still really young, and I like to go outside just like everybody else,
Right.
So it's not an easy task, but I'm here and I'm doing it as best as I can.
Yeah, talk about, putting thoughts into action. You know, sometimes things like this take multiple people and, multi-million dollars, and you are just like doing it on your own. You're out there, putting in the work, and that's amazing. And I think, to find out there's babies there, and to think if you weren't there, where would they be? Yeah. That's just such a, needed place in our community, and you are providing that.
Absolutely. It's scary. Just doing the interview intakes of different individuals and parents with kids, and just hearing how they have to live and sleep and things like that, it's tough to even listen to. So yeah. Yeah,
I'm sure. And I'm sure, like you said, you get them in and you give them help for just a little bit of time, and you can help them. You can help them get into a permanent place. You can help them find, transportation, job, healthcare. Like you said, you're working with Heart to Heart. We've had them on here before, and I know they do wonderful work. And just connecting people to the right services.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes people don't know where to go. And it takes someone like you to say, okay, let's sit down. Yeah. Let's figure this out, And if they're getting a safe bed to sleep in that night, I think people underestimate how good a good night's sleep can be for somebody. Just one good night's sleep. They wake up, they're thinking clear, right? They're less stressed. Their body can kind of calm down a bit, and then they can figure out where are we going to go from here.
And we got a lot of people that's out here that's on like SSI and set budgets, and their body can't physically work a job,
Right.
and like their income can't pay the bills. And so we have those individuals, and we have been trying to work with them and get something in place for them, whether it's a house where they're each renting a room to come together,
right,
and make the payments that
right,
needs to be done, just so that they can have a comfortable living and a comfortable life.
And safe.
But, yeah.
You know,
and safe.
Just a safe place to sleep.
Yeah.
Is such a huge thing. And like I said, it takes
I noticed
people...
one lady, she had a bunch of blisters on the bottom of her foot, but she was staying at a place that only housed people overnight. So she would spend the most of her day walking through the community. And her body wasn't physically able to work a job. So now she has the opportunity where she can come and stay with us, and if she needs to sleep for a couple hours throughout the day so that she can be productive for the rest of the day, we are allowing that for her.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, what you're doing, Mahogany, is just amazing for our community, and I think that the impact that you're making is so large. I mean, I know that, you know, like it seems, and I'm sure it doesn't seem small to you, but people are starting to hear, you know, what is this? I wonder. But I think it's just a huge impact, and you are such a community hero, and I really thank you for coming on today.
Thank you.
To tell us more. And if people are wanting to know more, you have a Facebook page.
Yes, I do.
And a website.
Yep, I have a Facebook page and a website. We are looking for donations and grants. Feel free to stop by, even if you want to just volunteer.
Yeah, anytime, because you're open 24/7.
Yes, I am 24/7. Even if you can't sleep throughout the night and you want to come by for an hour, I'm open with that.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mahogany.
Thank you.
Like I said, to keep up with Golden Touch Housing and Support Services, you can follow them on Facebook or check out their website.